and welcome, folks. This is the first episode of our Newport Gulls podcast, the Gulls Nest. We are actually here in the Gulls Nest at our offices in Middletown, Rhode Island. We'll be introducing these podcasts throughout the off-season, from the spring into the summertime. Going to be doing a lot of fun guests throughout the duration. We'll be doing some remotely at some of our players' facilities. We'll be doing some here, some throughout New England with a lot of our network who have been with the Gulls, been with the New England Collegiate Baseball League, and we're really excited to kick this podcast off. We have our very own Vice President here, Chris Patsos of the Newport Gulls. Welcome in here, Chris.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Thought it would be a good idea to kick this thing off. I mean, there's so much going on with the New England Collegiate Baseball League. We just got wrapped up with our yearly meetings down at Mohegan Sun. Really fun opportunity and constructive opportunity to get together with the other 13 or the other 12 teams in the league. So much going on here in Newport with the Newport Gulls. We have our big Hall of Fame induction ceremony coming up Friday, February 16th over at the Newport Marriott. Got 7 really significant individuals getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And coming off a year where the Newport Gulls captured their 7th league championship as well. So a lot going on, a lot of momentum, and a lot of changing pieces in summer collegiate baseball as well.
Yes, thanks, Mike. Yeah, it's we had our meetings this weekend at Mohegan Sun as a league. Things went well. Discussed the future, how things went last year, looking ahead. We're on ESPN3 this year, which is nice. We have 66 games on there, which will be a big plus for the league.
Exciting.
Hopefully it'll build something towards, that we can, for the future and really keep the momentum going. As a league, we have a lot of opportunity right now. We're in the forefront of what's going on with collegiate baseball. Been a lot of changes, and we have a great opportunity based on what we've accomplished over the last few years, the technology we have, and our relationship with Major League Baseball. So that's really exciting moving forward. As far as the Gulls go, yeah, we had a great year. Awesome summer. I hadn't won the championship in a little while, so it's nice to get one under our belt again, number 7.
Yep.
Kids were awesome. Players were outstanding. Just a great group of, we had about 5 or 6 leaders on that team. Usually with a team, if you find 1 or 2 leaders in the course of the summer, you're doing well. We had 5 or 6 or 7 leaders on that team that really drove that train up the tracks, and we had a lot of gritty kids, and they competed hard, and it was just wonderful to see. They really came together as a unit, and it was just outstanding for the community, and exciting for the Gulls.
Absolutely. No, great summer. First championship that I've been a part of, so it was really special for me getting my first ring. I know you've got a few, quite a few already, but leaders. I mean, I think that's a good word, good thing to touch upon as we head into this Hall of Fame too, because all the players who are getting inducted were leaders, but I think it starts right at the helm. Coach Mike Coombs, who you know very well from your collegiate career, he epitomizes the word leader. He was there for 4 championships. He's with us overall 11 years. He did a 10-year stint, and then came back in 2018. As we dive into this Hall of Fame, Mike Coombs is one of the names that I think he's leading this class. Tell me a little bit about Mike, your experience with him from the collegiate ranks down at Florida Southern, and then coming up here into summer ball and to leading the Gulls to what we really know him as today.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story, actually. It really is. The Gulls, we came here in 2001 to Newport, and our first manager was Carmen Carcone, who was really, really top-notch. He's a scout with the Marlins right now. Great job. Does a great job in baseball. But started with Carmen coming in here, setting the tone. We won the championship the first year we were here. And then Mike came in, I think, in year 2, I believe, as an assistant coach, or year 3, but maybe year 2 as an assistant coach.
Yeah, and then he quickly took the helm.
Yeah, after a week and a half or so into the season, our coach had to leave because he had a full-time job down in North Carolina. So we just moved Mike over a chair and into the big seat.
Yep.
And, best thing we ever did. Worked out great. Mike stepped right up, took control like we knew he would, and led the charge and led the troops right to the title. And I had no doubt he would be able to do it because Mike was my coach in college. When I was 18 years old, and going down to Florida from Situate, Mass. as a walk-on at Florida Southern College, a team that had just won the national championship the year before, so it's not like they needed me. So I walked on that team, and Mike was the catching coach, and I was one of the 12 catchers on the field that
Jeez,
that
12
September.
catchers, yeah. For a collegiate team?
Yeah, so I was one of 12 trying to work your way up. And,
yeah.
And Mike was my catching coach, and he just took me right away, and I just worked my tail off for him, and wanted to get better. And he saw that in me, and really challenged me a lot as a player. And just I was amazed at how much better I got in 4 months just by being around those guys. The coaching staff was fantastic, and Mike in particular. I felt blessed that I had come to that situation and chose that situation. So, and then let's fast forward. I had a great career there. I did well. I went to Miami. Went to Miami-Dade South for a year and a half. Came back to Florida Southern. Mike was there as well, and yeah. And then we won a championship my junior year and came in second in the country my senior year. So we had a lot of success there, and I owe a lot of that to Mike and the coaching staff and the work ethic that they instilled in us, and challenging us to be better every day. And so fast forward, so we come back to Boston, come back to Newport, and Mike comes down to a game. I think the second season, the end of our first season, he came down to a game with a friend of his. He was in town visiting, so I was just sitting in the stands, and I was talking to Mike about it, and I said, "It's pretty cool, huh?" He goes, "Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, what an atmosphere. This is fantastic, blah, 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 blah." And yeah, it's fun. I said, "Would you want to come up here sometime?" He goes, "Yeah, it wouldn't be, I don't know, it wouldn't be bad. I'd think about it." So fast forward, and we next year we had a head coach and Tommy Atkinson, and we needed an assistant coach. So I called Mike up and said, "Hey, you interested in coming up?" And he thought about it, and about a week later called and said, "Yeah, I'd love to come up." So he came up and stayed here for 11 years and won the championship 4 times.
Yep.
Was always in the hunt, manager of the year.
Yep.
He's the best when he gets thrown out of games. We love the antics. He's like Sparky Anderson.
If only social media was a thing when he was here, he'd be famous at this point. Awesome. I mean, Mike Coombs, he comes up here. You get him in Newport, get him working with the team. We have had this is our 6th Hall of Fame class, so bunch of players that played with Mike previously to this class. But the first set of players is the earliest set of players, I should say, is 2010. Mark Appel, Seth Simmons. That team was absolutely loaded with those two guys, really leading the charge from a pitching perspective, especially Mike and or Mark and Seth. Those players. I mean, what do you remember from Mark Appel? Being that highly touted Stanford recruit, and then Seth Simmons, who's an absolute bulldog out of East Carolina.
Yeah, it's just that's one extreme to the other. Mark's 6'5" and Seth's 5'8". So we're going, wait a minute, what are we getting here? So we get Mark Appel. We got a call from Stanford. Chuck got a call from Stanford. They offered us Mark Appel and
DeKroger?
Yeah, Kenny DeKroger, another high-profile shortstop.
Yep.
And we usually didn't get quite those high-profile kids.
Yep.
Had a fight for the Cape for those kids, but our relationship with Stanford at the time was such that they like to send them to us because we can take care of them their first year, second year they go to the Cape, and then they can flourish after that their junior year. So they weren't afraid of doing that. And it's more of I still think it's the best way to do it for these schools if they send them to our league first. Mm-hmm. Unless they're exceptional, but they should send them to our league first, Cape League second, and then junior year they get drafted and they move on.
That's kind of how I explain, when people are asking about the NECBL as opposed to the Cape, what's the differences there. I usually say that a lot of the Power 5 conferences, Pac-12 and Stanford's scenario is their freshmen kind of come to our league first. A lot of the mid-majors will get some of the older guys from there. Then they'll go to the Cape, go back to school, then get drafted. That's kind of been the transition, throughout the time with the Gulls.
Yeah, that's that kind of the recipe for success in my mind. As you have these freshman kids out there, they're young, and unless you're really exceptional and had a great year at school and really are a high-profile kid, you may get buried down the Cape because there's a lot of experienced kids, older kids. Very high-profile kids.
Yeah.
So you may, a good example is Chris Iannetta, who played in the bigs for 19 years, I believe, as a catcher. And what a great player he was when we had him. Humble, quiet, hardworking. You knew he was going to be a pro. You knew he was going to be a pro. And he was down the Cape his first year. He was at Chatham with Coach Schiffner, who's a great coach and great program. But Chris, there was 3 catchers down there, and Chris was catching, and he had a bad game one time early in the season, and he sat down for a week because it's so competitive that you just don't get it. It's not a rotation. It's more of a how you doing system.
Not a chance to develop as much as maybe you'd like.
No, because
especially early on in your career.
Oh yeah, he's a freshman. He thought the Cape. He did well at school, so he thought he'd fit right in there and do well. And he just had a bad game, and he kind of got buried. And then when you go back in, you're pressing. I got to have a good game. And it turned out he didn't really like it, from what I understand. So we called him the next year. I was talking to Chuck in the office one day. I said, "Hey, how about Chris Ionetta? He's from Providence, played in North Carolina. When do we call him?" He goes, "Oh, he'll never come back here because he went to the Cape. He'll probably go back to the Cape." I said, "Well, hey, you never know. Let's just give him a call." So we called down, and Coach Holbrook was there, I think, at the time. And he called back like 2 minutes later. Said Chris wants to come to Newport. He'd love to come to Newport.
Bang.
Okay. Because he didn't have a great experience down the Cape.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because if he went down there his sophomore year, he would have done really well because he would have been coming off a season with us. His sophomore season at UNC, where he hit 23 home runs, and he would have got plenty of opportunity down there. Instead, he was a freshman going down there, probably hit 300 at school with 4 home runs and a lot of upside, and just didn't get the opportunity. So anyway, he came with us, and Coach Rupp was here. Terry Rupp was at the time. I just loved Chris, just loved Chris. Yeah, and just loved it. Loved his work ethic, and played great for us. And his parents were here every game. His brother was here every game. His brother ended up playing with us from Georgetown. Played with us for 2 summers. Matt, very good player.
Yep.
But Chris was awesome. But there you go. We didn't. There's a kid a situation there where, hindsight being 2020, I'm sure wish he would have come to us his freshman year and then their sophomore year. So yeah, that formula works. I think it's the best thing to do for the kids. A little less pressure in our league. We're still scouted very well. I tell the kids, if you're questioning whether you should come to the Cape or the All-Star, Cape or the NECBL, I say just come to the NECBL and make the All-Star team, and you'll be fine because that's your goal. If you can do that, you'll make it to the Cape. You'll do well. I'm telling you, if you come to our league and hit 270 or above, especially for the Newport Gulls, because that's what they look at our roster first and foremost to see what players, and we get calls from Coach Englert and Coach Nicholson and Coach Pickler at the end of the season. Hey, who are your good freshmen? Who should I look at? I usually give them 2 or 3 names, and boom. Mike Fish is one. Mike Fish is going down the Cape, going to Harwich. Coach Englert called me, said, "Hey, I'm a little tired of taking these kids from these big high-profile schools who come late and leave early and aren't engaged in what we're doing. I want some grinders and some grunts." Goes,
Mike Anderson over at URI,
Excuse me, Mike Fish, yeah. He goes, Mike Anderson played for you last year, and what do you think of Mike? I said, Mike, he's what a character kid, what a leader. I said, a freshman. He was a freshman, Steve, and he was one of the leaders of our team. He was our best player the last 2 weeks of the season. He carried us in the playoffs along with Luke Beckstein. I said, and it was wonderful to see. And so when I tell you should take Mike, you should take Mike.
What exemplifies that? We were watching actually the other day. We were watching the championship game at Bristol, and if you remember, Luke gets on to lead off the game, and then Mike gets hit with a pitch, and he sprints down to first base.
Like Pete Rose.
Yeah, just bullets down to first base, and then Tyler Hare goes on to hit that home run. But I think that really shows his leadership quality. He had the bench going crazy, getting hit. So that was, and that's at the tail end of the season. You've been here for how long? And he was a guy who got here day 1 from URI.
Yeah, no, he was just and let me tell you, he struggled halfway through the year. I remember him behind the batting cage with Coach Regan. They're doing soft toss one time. I'm watching before the game, and poor Mike's going, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do.
First time with wood bats,
And I said, Mike, just keep working with Teddy. He'll help you figure it out.
Yeah.
And he figured it out. And what a player. But he didn't quit. When he was struggling, he kept working harder. Okay, and he fought through it. And what a kid. So anyway, I told Coach Englert, I said, you should take that kid, Stevie. And he took him. He goes, if you tell me I should take him, I'm going to take him.
Yeah, we'd love to have him back, but still.
No, I told Chuck, he goes, Chuck, he deserves to go there. He did really, really well. He deserves to be. He'll do well. He'll be a great kid for Stevie. So. Well,
and I mean, development-wise, one of the only guy who were inducted to the Hall of Fame who did 2 years with us, Brett Graves, talk about development. He won the championship in 2012. He was here in 12 and 13. The development of him as a pitcher from 12 to 13, because he was a good pitcher. He pitched a good amount as a freshman from Missouri, pitched a ton for them. pitched for us in 2012, and then 2013 comes back and he's lights out. I mean, was that a development that you saw from year to year? I mean, how is that a transformation?
Yeah, it's just night and day. Night and day. I mean,
because he's a future big leaguer. I mean, you
gotta remember, a year for these kids developing is huge.
Yep.
It's huge.
Yep.
We get all these kids who play with us. Will Smith, J.J. Bleday. These are big leaguers.
Yep.
They say, "Oh, it must have been great for you." Nah, they're okay.
Yeah.
They were okay. J.J. was.
Yeah, it's good.
He was good, but he wasn't like the best player on the field every night. Will Smith, Will played the outfield.
Yeah.
98% of the time. I think he caught the last game of the season because they wanted to see if he could catch. And the dude's the best catcher in Major League Baseball now. But he didn't hit like 340 for us.
Yeah.
He was just a great kid from Louisville. Just a great character kid, solid kid. J.J. Bleday from Vanderbilt. What a nice young man. Very polite, very appreciative. He was still working at his game.
Yep.
The next year, both those guys were in the Cape.
Yep.
And now they're both in the big leagues, but were they awesome for us? Not metric wise, not analytics wise.
Yeah, but you didn't know, hey, this guy's a big leaguer right there.
Yeah, but the only one I thought Mark Appel was going to be a big leaguer when I saw him for sure, and Chris Iannetta.
Yeah.
Other than that, Kyle Hankard was very good at USC. Didn't make it to the
Another Hall of Famer, yeah.
Yeah, another Hall of Famer, and a lot of kids but those two guys there.
Yep.
And
really stood out.
To your point. Our guys, we get them, and they're young, develop. In Brett's case, Brett came here after his freshman year. He was good for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was, yeah.
He came back after his sophomore year. He was great for us.
Yeah, he was dominant, and he probably could have went to the Cape, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that conversation.
But the way we treated him, his appreciation for what we did here in Newport, and his, he's no dummy. Newport's a beautiful place to play.
Yeah.
So he wanted to come back here and win the championship, okay?
Yep.
And get it done. And I mean, what the progress he made in just in a year is incredible.
Yep.
All these kids, but it's nice to see. We usually don't see that because those kids usually go to the Cape the second year.
Mm-hmm.
But to see Brett come back after year one, come here for year two, and be as dominant as he was,
yeah.
and as focused as he was, and competitive as he was, and as grounded as he was. The only thing that changed from the year before is he's better, but he's the same person. He treats you the same way.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of strong character.
No, Brett's been awesome to deal with. Has his premier pitching program out in Missouri that he started now. I mean, he was in the big leagues with the Marlins, got taken in the Rule 5 draft, which was really fun to see. So he spent that whole year up with the Marlins. Now he's passing the knowledge and the expertise on to the younger generation, doing his own podcast, doing his own lessons. So he's been awesome to deal with. I'm really looking forward to him coming out to Newport in a month from now. But somebody who came out to Newport or came out to Rhode Island and now hasn't left. It's Pete Kelich, another pitcher, another arm. He's making his living still in Rhode Island from playing. He went to Bryant University up in Smithfield, played for the Gulls. I mean, what about Pete? I mean, did you know? Did he just latch on to the community here in Rhode Island? I mean, he coached up with Coach Holbrook up at Rhode Island College. So obviously loves baseball, loves the game. I mean, he was lights out too when he was here in Newport.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where Pete's wife was from, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
A lot of our players, meet girls over the summer here, and they have lasting relationships. I mean, 2 of our players from last year are going out with girls who were interning with us last year. I didn't know that till a couple weeks ago when I saw their parents. One guy said, "Hey," one dad called me and said, "Hey, what's so and so like?" I said, "Why? What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, he's dating my daughter." I said, "It's December. What do you mean he's dating your daughter?" She was here this summer. "Oh no, they're still seeing each other. He went out and saw her last week and blah blah blah." I'm like, okay. So anyway, it doesn't surprise me that Pete stayed. I mean, he was great here. He loved it here. He just, when you play in the stadium, after coming from, places that aren't passionate like this, or playing at Bryant in college, just different. You have the parents.
Yeah, different atmosphere. Yeah.
He comes to Newport now, and he really relished it in his role with us, closing, and just really took the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I just remember him pitching a lot.
Yeah.
And always doing well, and never saying no. And always saying, "Yeah, I'm ready."
Yeah.
And don't take me out. And just competed his ass off. Just very competitive. And wow, that impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And then just to see what he's done from there.
I mean, that was 2012, and that team's the number one baseball team. I mean, the summer collegiate baseball team in the nation that year, and you got a guy from Bryant as the closer. Kind of leading the charge, being a bulldog. Pun intended. That's quite a accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you can get guys from anywhere. Let me tell you, it doesn't surprise me. You get the best player at Ryder or the best player at Lafayette.
Yep. Siena, Fairfield. Yep.
Yeah, you're getting a heck of a player.
Yep.
You're getting a heck of a player, and in that situation there, we got their best pitcher, and Pete was their best pitcher.
Yep.
Just like Seth Simmons, we got Seth from East Carolina. Coach Godwin down there, and Chuck and I are looking at him at 5'8". I don't know. Normally they teach you to take pitchers who are tall, 6 feet and above.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So not too many small. You don't see many 5'8". I don't know if you see any. How tall is Stroman? He's probably 5'10".
Yeah, if that. But
okay,
yeah.
But there aren't any 5'8".
No.
5'8", 5'9" guys. But
it's
Seth, let me
few and
tell
far
you,
between.
he came up and boy, right away.
Yeah.
You look at okay, great, and the kids come out and throw their first bullpen.
He's got a rocket for an arm.
After that bullpen, it's like this dude's 6'5". He's not 5'8" or 5'9".
Yeah, the pop of the glove.
And he's got he had a hand cannon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A hand cannon. Okay, you don't hear that much anymore, but that's what Coach Engler used to tell me when he talked about kids. Hey, he's a good Steve. He doesn't seem very big. Let me tell you, Chris, you got a hand cannon. Seth had a hand cannon. That ball came out of his It came out of his hand like holy, and bigger than anybody in the whole stadium. That kid. Okay, it's just unbelievable competitor.
It's funny too to see all these guys. You got Mark, who made the big leagues. You got Brett Graves, who made the big leagues. Somebody we didn't talk about yet, Blaze Salter, who was just arguably one of the best seasons ever as a Newport Gull. Led you guys to the championship in 2014. But they're all still involved in baseball in some capacity. I mean, they're all that love of the game that doesn't leave you.
No, it doesn't leave you, and it flourishes here in Newport because of what the community brings to the team and what the team brings to these players and their enthusiasm and appreciation for the game there's tons of opportunities in this game. So all those guys, Blaze was an animal out of Michigan State.
Yeah, man amongst boys.
So you play tight end for them? What are you doing? He's like huge. So, but great, catcher, first baseman came out here. Awesome young man. He was Bill Freehand's nephew, I believe, Bill Freehand's nephew. So we're taking him right away because I love catches.
Yeah, his grandpa won a World Series with the Tigers.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. So he came out and what a leader he was. What a great player, big leader. I was actually down in Plymouth at the time running the Pilgrims, and I was back with the Gulls doing both, so I got to see the best of both sides.
Yeah.
And he beat us in the playoffs, and just really. Just a fearsome competitor. Just wasn't. He's the one kid. I don't think he gave away one at bat all summer. Didn't give away one at bat,
which is hard to do.
And I've seen guys give away
dog days.
I've seen guys give away one at bat a game.
Roll over, out.
And he did not give up an at bat ever.
Yeah.
And I respected the crap out of that. So yeah, and the rest of the team fed off of that. They fed off of that because how are you going to let that guy down? How are you going to settle for anything else, anything less than what the standard that's been set by players like that? And Blaze was one of those guys,
And hey, last year, crowd wise, outstanding. I mean that energy in the ballpark from even from June on. We're watching highlight films. We're cutting some stuff up. That home run that Brett hit in 2014 against Ocean State, against the side armor.
Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze. Compare that atmosphere in that playoff game in 2014 to what we experienced this last summer. Because I didn't think anything could beat it, but I was talking to Tom Lima, one of our media directors, and he said that was second to none. So bring me into Cardines Field 2014 when Blaze hits a moonshot to left field.
Well. Yeah, we were fighting with Ocean State.
Yep.
Our rivalry, and they love beating us. They love beating us whenever they could.
Whenever they can, yeah, you're right.
Whenever they can. So it's a wicked rivalry, which is great. That's why we do this. I love the rivalry and the competitiveness. They had this side armor who was he was like lights out. He was Mr. Everything that year, and blah, blah, blah. And they were saving him for the right situation, right? Yeah. Saving him for Blaze, saving him. Well, he came in the game. Blaze stepped in the box.
2-2 pitch.
The dude threw the
fly
pitch.
Ball left field.
He went over the playground.
Still going. This ball is gone. A grand slam for Blaze Salter.
Blaze Salter does it again. First Newport Gulls grand slam this summer. He's greeted by the whole team at home plate. And look at Blaze Salter. get greeted by that team. He is an MVP candidate here in this league. And
It's still going.
Still going.
Still going.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
The only drama was how far is it going to go?
Yeah.
Blaze was not going to be struck out that game.
Yeah.
He was not going to let the team down.
Yeah.
I think it was the first pitch he smacked.
Yeah. He
Tommy, was that the first pitch he smacked?
he took
He took the first pitch.
Yeah. He took one. He took to see it. Yeah.
The sidearm slurve. Whatever you want to call. What do they call that now?
The sweeper. The sweeper. Yeah. We were talking. Who were we talking to the other day? The sweeper. Yeah. The analytics guys.
Yeah. The analytics guy. He took your sweeper and put it over the playground. So this kid was out there 6'4", getting everybody out all year long. And they was, like I said, they were saving him. They brought him in just for this situation, thinking they were going to lock it up.
Yeah.
The game's over. We're done. Blaze said, "Not on my watch."
Yeah.
And it was just that was that. The Vito Chavrolati home run in the playoffs, and this year's team are the three best moments that I've seen.
Yeah.
This year's, there was not one thing that happened this year. There was a lot of things that happened this year.
Yeah.
And it was special because we lost some guys who we thought were critical to our team.
Mm-hmm.
And other guys stepped in, we didn't miss a beat. And everyone, I always say it's not the guys who you start with, it's the guys who you finish with. And that's more important than ever now. And when guys leave, we just have enough guys. We've learned to recruit more guys now because we can't only have X amount because the kids come and go more often now. And we just have a few more guys. So if guys leave, I don't care if guys leave. I don't care because the next man up.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
And all our guys are good. All our guys are good.
Yep. Wouldn't be here if not.
Luke Beckstein, I'm not sure Luke would have played over
Trent
last year.
Yep.
Okay, because Coach loved Trent.
Mm-hmm. Trent got picked up by the Phillies after the draft.
Yeah, signed out after the draft.
Yep, Michigan State.
And great kid. Trent was great. He was a second-year guy.
Mm-hmm.
Loved being here.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the batting cage the day after the draft with his dad, hitting over by my house because he wanted to get drafted still. So, but I don't know if Luke would have played much if Trent stayed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Nico Brini would have played much if Anthony D'Onofrio stayed.
Mm-hmm.
So both those guys were big catalysts to us winning the championship. So,
for sure.
Not that we wouldn't have won it with those other guys.
No.
But there's a certain dynamic and makeup that matters and makes a difference.
Yeah, both those guys stepping into those roles. Matt Shark was an all-star during the year, and then Mike Anderson comes in, like you said, and has 12 RBIs and how many games? Billy Butler has 15, 16 RBIs throughout the whole season, has 11 in the postseason. I mean,
Billy Butler, talk about character, talk about leadership.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm coming to Newport to win a championship."
Yeah.
He was begging us to take him for 4 or 5 months. We waited till the end to take him.
Yeah.
Because we had too many guys. And finally we said, "The hell with it. You know why we're taking Billy? Because Billy's a great kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to help us win games. And he's going to stick around to the end. So that's why we're taking Billy."
Yeah.
And that's why Chuck and I took him. And I'm glad we took him.
Absolutely. No, those guys made up an absolute stellar character. And it's as if they were playing together for 4 or 5 years. You wouldn't know that team was just put together there. Lastly, the only person we haven't touched upon, somebody who's around for many a championship, who called many a championship, Nick Lima, getting inducted here.
Nick Lima time.
Oh yeah, I mean that's my introduction to the Newport Gulls. That was my director of baseball operations. I'm excited for him to go in. He's so deserving. I mean, how about that guy? I mean, that's somebody that you saw from infancy basically. And we talk about podcasts and media.
We bought the team. We had no broadcast people at all. We knew nothing about anything, Chuck and I. I think we reached out to all the schools, and Tiverton called back, the Tiverton Tiger crew, and the Delta 88, like Animal House, rolling into the Cardines parking lot.
Yeah.
Every game. Doors open, 8 people get out. Trunk opens.
Barnum and Bailey.
Trunk opens. There's a U-Haul worth of equipment in the frickin' trunk. I don't know how they get it in. They're lugging it in and out of Cardines Field, plugging it in, setting up all the time.
Yeah.
Calling games. Nick Lima, Tom Lima, his crew, unbelievable. So Nick's the broadcaster.
Yeah.
Nick knows nothing about baseball. Okay. He's got the jacket. He's got the fedora on.
Yep, the fedora.
So I'm like, okay, it must be going okay. So one night I go behind this to listen to this broadcast.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to Nick. It's like he's making stuff up. It's not what we're watching. It's funny. It's just at the time. Like I said, it's early in our. It's his first year.
Yeah, everybody's growing together. Yeah.
A for effort, absolutely. But a kid throws a fastball, and Nick says, "Oh, there's a curveball on the outside of the plate." Oh, the kid throws a fastball. There's a slider.
Yeah.
Kid throws a changeup. Oh, there's a curve. So I'm just going.
Well, we didn't have the TrackMan back then, so you got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
We didn't have video. It was all audio, so they didn't know what they
Oh, there you go. So nobody knew.
No one knew.
Fake it till you make it.
I was just shaking my head back.
Yeah.
Going, man, I love these guys.
Yeah.
And every year they come over here, they get better every year.
Yeah.
The second year they ramped it up a little bit. Third year, and boy, man, they just pretty soon. Before there was ESPN3. There was ESPN3 down at Cardinals.
There's ESPN Lima.
I was telling Tom and Nick, I said, man, you guys, 2006, I said, you guys are ESPN3. I said, look at what you got going on down here. And, look where we are now. I mean, we put a professional broadcast up there with graphics, replays, commercials,
Yeah, I mean, how much were we in those meetings this past weekend? And one is Nick Lima's name getting brought up, Lima. So that's significant in itself. But how much of these baseball meetings are focused on media, ESPN, production? I mean, we wouldn't be there without him.
Let me tell you, this weekend we talked about that as a league.
Yep.
Everyone is way behind the 8 ball there. We are so far ahead of the curve,
Yep.
thanks to Tom and Nick and
Yep.
their crew and what they've done. So far ahead of the curve that it's. I mean, I'm so proud of these guys and what they've done, and I hope they understand and appreciate that, because we are such in the forefront of just look what we're doing today.
Yeah.
We're doing a podcast today that we're going to do because we can, because
Yeah.
these guys set it up for
Yep.
us. It's just that easy, and they're awesome. But the best story about Nick. This is the best story.
Yeah,
about
give me
Nick.
one. Give me one. Because I got a good one from the Hall of Fame, from the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think it was the second year.
Oh, there you go.
Year 2. I think it's up in Keene. We're up there for the All-Star game. Nick comes up. He's got the jacket, the trousers, the shoes. He got the fedora on.
Looking the part, yeah.
So they decide to let the broadcasters take batting practice, right? So a few guys go up there. They swing, and they're looking okay. And now Nick gets up there with his fedora and his jacket on, and I think he was hitting lefty, if I remember correctly. Tom, you probably have it on video.
We'll have to pull that one.
If you do, you should burn it. So anyway, Nick's, it was, Nick was great at broadcasting.
Yeah.
Not at hitting.
Not so much at hitting.
No. He took a couple swings, and I think Chuck and I said, okay, that's enough. Nick, no more. That's enough. No,
Yeah.
Get out of there before you hurt yourself. But
Yeah.
It was so funny, but he stepped in there like, I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
Give me the bat. I don't know if he played Little League. Tom, did he play Little League? No. It looked like he had never swung a bat before.
Yeah.
But he didn't say, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
He
man.
went out there and did it.
Hell yeah.
And it was the funniest thing of the whole day. Not to make fun of Nick.
No.
Finish what he did. It was just so humorous. It was just you couldn't have planned it better, but it was just so funny. It was something I always remember about Nick, and he's
one of a kind.
We can't thank him enough.
Yeah.
His enthusiasm and generosity of his time and everything. Him and Tom was just it's off the charts, and it's put us light years above of everybody in summer collegiate league baseball. And we owe it all to those guys. We owe everything that they've done about that end of our business to them.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really outstanding. Yeah, when you look at all other teams in our league, across the whole landscape as a whole, you got the Northwoods, the Coastal Plains, and all that stuff.
Half our teams still have one camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch as many games as I used to, but the few I watched this year,
Yeah.
I'm watching a few games with like one camera. So I mean,
Yeah. No, we'll pump those up in the future here.
yeah,
So
as a league, we need to do better than that, and that's something. That's one of our goals as a league, is to get everybody up to speed where they're going to have at least 3 cameras and they can do a decent broadcast, so we can all take advantage of the opportunities that we're going to have in the future with either ESPN3, Flow Sports, Amazon, Hulu,
all of them. Yeah,
whatever.
you name it.
Streaming. Look, they streamed the football game last week, and it was most people streamed on a game or anything in ever.
Yeah.
So it's the future, and I think we're right there thanks to Tom and Nick.
Yep, we're totally on the cutting edge, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to what the advancements we're going to make, with the Gulls this upcoming summer. Like you said, being on ESPN Plus. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Hall of Fame. I mean, what are you looking forward to most? I've talked to all these guys. I've stayed in communication. They're excited. I'm excited because I think I've only met in person maybe 1 or 2 of them, and that's Coombs and Lima. I mean, these guys were before I got involved in the organization, but you can hear their excitement. I mean, what are you most excited for welcoming these guys back?
seeing these guys.
Yeah.
They just you know, they're such a big part. We're doing this 23 years, I think, and it's such a big part of the fabric of what we've done over the years. You know, I still talk to Seth Simmons, and he's coaching with Logan Koch down here before he got his job in Texas. He was down with Logan for 3 or 4 years doing AAU.
Yep.
So I'd hear about Seth all the time. And
The Dirtbags or something, the team name.
Yeah, the Dirt with Logan and Donnie. So always talking about his great experience up here all the time. Brett, you know, was just all these guys they're just character kids. None of them are jerks. They're just such great individuals and they were so appreciative of their time here. They didn't take it for granted. They were thankful. They gave back, and they remember that they have great memories of coming to Newport. So to see them, it's just going to be super. You know? And it's always nice to see Coach Combs, and you know, give him crap again, just like I always do when he's coaching here. So he's coming back this year again, and it'll be interesting to see because hasn't been here in
2018.
2018, you know, and it's
2025, 2024, yep.
And, you know, kids have changed a little bit since he's coached before, and he's older like me, so I'm curious to see how he handles the new generation and the transfer portal and motivating the players and things like that, and because it's a little bit different. But, you know, I'm not he'll do a great job. I'm excited to have him come up again. I wish he had never left. I told him that, and you know, I said, why are you going back to Florida? It's like 100 degrees in the summer. Why are you going back there? But he's coming back here, and we're happy to have him back. And yeah, it's just awesome. I'm going to see Nick. I haven't seen Nick in a while, so it's Nick. No, it's just to see these guys will be super. And you know, have our friends out there. Hoop guys, a lot of hoop guys are coming, and a lot of
our sponsors, a lot of
host families, some former players. You know, people in the community. You know, it's fun. We haven't had one in a while.
Yep, 2019.
Yeah, February is a good time to have it. Not a lot going on. Good time to come out and hang out with everybody. Very informal, and just to be a fun night to see everybody. Really excited to.
Definitely, college baseball is gonna kick off here shortly, February. I mean, as we kind of wrap this thing up, team, you and Chuck putting together the roster. College baseball going to start up soon. I mean, where's roster at? I'm sure everybody at home wants to kind of know about the players incoming this next year. We have a couple coming back, which is great. Nico Brini, Tyler Hare, Jake Burley's coming back for his 8th year coming here. Going to catch.
We get Jacob back again, he was one of our leaders last year.
Yep. Adam Marr's coming back.
Yeah, Adam's coming back from UMass Dartmouth, a local kid in Plymouth. Nico Brini, another kid in Plymouth. We asked us, they want to come back. They said absolutely.
Yep.
And Tyler Hare's down at he was at Georgia Tech, but now he's transferred
to over to Wofford.
Wofford over there, and he's going to do well. We took him right because once again a high character kid. All those kids are strong character kids, and we didn't take them back because they were good players. We took them back because they're good people and they're good players.
Yep. Common denominator that we've talked about here for this whole show. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty selective in who we choose. Chuck and I, we're pretty. We make a lot of phone calls and talk to a lot of different people. To make sure we get the right fit here, and you make mistakes every now and then. But if you do your homework and your due diligence, you're going to make the right decision most of the time. And we've been fortunate to do that. And these players that are coming back are the cream of the crop. So
no, this is definitely exciting to be sitting down here, get you in the Gulls Nest. First guest here in the podcast. Excited for the event. Excited for the season. I'm sure we'll have you on again here at some point, but. Folks listening at home, follow us all the social medias at Newport Gulls. Our website, stay up to date. I'm going to continue to be releasing new information, checking out the roster. But yeah, any closing remarks for us here, Chris?
No, just hopefully I'd like to see a lot of people out at the event on the 16th of February, Friday night at the Marriott. Great venue.
Our neighbors, Cardines.
Yeah, they're great supporters of us. Walter Andrews is the best over there.
Oh, yeah.
Takes care of us. Just a super supporter. Looking forward to it and excited for the season. Got some improvements coming on at Cardines Field, and we have an exciting team coming. Still have about 7 or 8 spots left to fill with. We'll wait a little later for that. And but no, it's another year. It's a little quieter right now, which is good. Need a little break, and the Hall of Fame dinner will be great to kick things off and get things going, and then we'll roll right into the season. And a lot of things to look forward to, and the community's excited, coming off a championship, and I know Gully's all ready to get going again, and
Heck yeah,
full steam ahead.
Gully Junior, baby.
Yeah.
Yep, going down there. No, this is good. It's all fun stuff. I mean, I love being a part of it. As you know, we got a great crew. Tom Lima, Mike Basile, thanks so much for helping us out putting this thing together. Looking forward to some more guests coming on, and hopefully another repeat championship year. So thanks again for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again here in the Gulls Nest real soon.